and there's something they can relate to. And then like Chinese people are just like, fuck, we're just like, your VCR's made in China.
We have t-shirts.
It says Panasonic. It says Panasonic, but it's actually made in China.
Welcome back to another episode of Careful Boys. Today we are going to talk about, because we have Nick Dunn here and everything. Where do you think each Asian sees themselves in the hierarchy of Asians?
That's so funny.
Oh, where they see themselves?
We'll start with, I think Koreans think they're...
I also think that.
I think Koreans and Japanese... I also think Japanese think they're top dogs. For good reasons, for both.
Why do you think Koreans think... Where do you think that comes from?
I think that for me personally, it just came from Korean people I know always saying that they're number one.
But what do you think from in their culture? Is it something that's like indoctrinated into them, or like where do you think that?
It was after the Korean War.
Yeah.
Nation build. They needed to build a lot of pride, and it was the first time when they're kind of free. Well, even though they're kind of like an American colony,
Yeah.
They have independence for the first time.
So they're just super patriotic, and that created this.
Well, identity-wise, they used to be a Japanese colony. Before that, they were Chinese. Kind of, what do you call it? Like a puppet state,
Like a vassal.
right? So then they never had like their own. But the resilience about Koreans is though that they were able to never be completely taken over.
Yeah, they always maintain their culture.
They were able to keep, So then but also they're one of the best success stories of Asia. Like they surpassed Japan in how quickly after being a war-torn country, they modernized, their economy
They turned it around.
Yeah. And then both Koreas are really good. Like North Korea, they out-Soviet the Soviets. They lasted communism more than their teachers did, right? And then fucking South Korea, they're like more capitalist than America. Like both of them are A+ students of capitalism and communism. So I think like they're overachievers. They're really good. And then it's like, I was broke yesterday, but I just beat all these other Asian countries. Yeah, they deserve to kind of be like kind of egotistical.
Okay.
Do you think Chinese people also believe they're the top dogs? They're number one?
You talking about like your average run-of-the-mill Chinese?
Yeah.
I think your average run-of-the-mill Chinese don't give a fuck with that. Just give me money, man. Yeah.
Here to work, man.
That's what I think. I think the average. That's
my suspicion as well.
Yeah, my I guess like assumption of a Chinese guy. They go, okay, everybody, you guys do the fighting, and I'll print all you guys' flags for you, okay? Like that. I think that's what Chinese people think.
You gotta get in on the business.
True.
I feel like Chinese, what do you call it? They criticize themselves the most, and they don't have like this superiority complex.
True, yeah.
Also, they actually do run everything. So like if you think about who owns Southeast Asia, like Vietnam is the only country that is ran by Vietnamese oligarchs. All of Southeast Asia, it's ran by, it's kind of like Jewish, like they're the Jewish of the Asia, where
they want to be more low key.
Minorities that run
The majority of the control.
all Southeast Asians are some kind of tied to Chinese blood or Chinese immigrants that moved to that country. Yeah.
Because you think about it, Chinese people are everywhere, right? Yeah. Like when you hear about they're in Jamaica, they're all over.
Chinese industry is everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're all over Africa too, you know?
Chinese dependency is global.
Yeah.
Which is pretty
and
intimidating.
over the past couple of years, they've gotten wider.
Look what China's doing in Africa now.
Yeah, dude.
They're freaking going.
Because I feel like they actually run shit, but you don't hear them going around talking about Chinese like pride and supremacy and all that
like
shit.
Very not Chinese to do.
Because I think they know. I think they kind of do the same thing like you said as Jewish people. The more you talk about it, the more resistance you get.
And especially when you're actually...
If you're really the guy running it, you don't want everyone to know, right?
Yeah. You want to be the middle guy quietly in the background, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like for Koreans, their diaspora has done an amazing job sticking together. And so whatever they're telling each other to keep that pride strong, it really is very audible to the rest of us.
Sad part, though, is growing up, because Chinese people don't care about pride, there's nothing to latch onto as a Chinese kid. Because I would see my Korean homies, whatever, Japanese homies, whatever. Yeah, they're like, oh, look at K-pop, or like Japan crushed it with all the cars.
Cool.
Yeah, like everyone's like, whatever, you know, everything. There's a reason to be cool, and there's something they can relate to. And then like Chinese people are just like, fuck, we're just like your VCR's made in China.
We have t-shirts.
It
We
says
made your t-shirt.
Panasonic. It says Panasonic, but it's actually made in China.
Maybe there's not a reason for kids.
Yeah.
Chinese people kind of understand where they are, you know.
I think like maybe Chinese mainland CCP Chinese are proud, but I think like all the Chinese diaspora are like, they're maybe, I don't know. I don't really see that rep.
Oh, that's true because there's a conflict.
Yeah, because a lot of people left China and they hate China, right? Or the government. But then
Yeah.
I think China's just so fucking big though that when, you know, it's kind of like white folks where when you're the dominant group and it's so big, like you're kind of invisible to your own race. And I think that's what Chinese people, when I look at it, I'm like, well, dude, they're as old as Egypt. They run all of Asia, right? They have so much, like everyone learned from them.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's so many things to be proud of, but to them it's invisible because it's like,
It's obvious.
we're just Chinese. Like that's, we created civilization. But I think the loudest motherfuckers, they got shit to prove. Like Korea's the new kid on the block. They got shit to prove. They never really colonized. They never did all that. So you ever see now there's like this whole shit about Koreans going to Southeast Asia and then they're kind of like gentrifying and doing all this shit. There's all this beef right now.
Like the Silver Lakers of Asia.
Yeah.
Because they're like the most. I think right now, I think it's as far in the Western world and the way what the West sees Asia, Korea is like the most dominant,
Yeah.
right? Or Japan. It's like neck and neck.
Yeah.
But as far as like culture wise,
Yeah.
everything that Americans see as Asian is Korean.
Anime,
All
culture,
Netflix, all the shows being put out, all Korean.
All Korean, yeah.
So it's like I think in that way they are like kind of running the media
What do you
game.
think the Japanese people see themselves in the hierarchy?
They think being Japanese is lame.
Really?
In Japan, Japanese, or Japan.
Ronald's laughing because he thinks it's also
No, like,
true.
dude, it's like this. Like, you know, when you're Asian American, you want to be like hella proud of who you like are and what you.
Oh,
do.
yeah,
They
yeah.
think nationalism is so played out. Like it's like Americans here. Like when they see like the KKK and the white like supremacists, they're like lame. You're just hicks, right? That's how they see like Japanese pride is like you're fucking lame.
Hey, you
bro.
know what's probably gonna happen then? The interracial in Japanese in the world is gonna just form Voltron over there, dude. It's just gonna be a ton of.
I'll tell you some shit though that I think they subtly believe. Like it is kind of like subtle racism, right? So like you guys been to Japan and it's really organized and clean, right? So they don't understand why other races can't do that. So they think that other races that live dirty and all that are kind of like animals. Because they're like,
Dude, I can see where they're coming from too, man. Look how clean they are.
why can't you guys pick up after your own
Their
trash?
civic sense is like A++.
Yeah.
They're too considerate.
They go to those like when they go to the Olympics in other countries and they clean up the stands.
Right.
Because that's what I
That's
think.
next level.
That's what I think
dude.
other countries should strive for.
Yeah.
I believe so too. I think
when
it's
my mom
great.
first came to the States, like she just didn't understand why people couldn't follow the rules. And she goes, it's so simple.
Have
Like,
some self-respect.
It's good for everybody to not throw your trash on the ground. And then like she was like, and if there's a rule, if everyone should like, I don't know, like have a shirt on when they go out or whatever, she's like, why can't they just follow that in America?
Like, how do you have a full day at a Japanese subway station where no one jumped the ticket thing?
Right. So she doesn't, for her,
Even if it's a
was
low
hard-
income area,
Yeah.
right?
She couldn't understand. She's like, how can you be so selfish?
It's just Kaizen, dude. That's just how they live their life over there. That's just the Japanese philosophy is just too strong over
I
there.
think because of that, like, it's kind of like subtle racism, but like rooted in like, I just don't get why they can't clean up after themselves.
I get that.
Yeah.
Which isn't too crazy.
That's like not crazy. And it's also kind of parental. It's like that's what my mom was saying about me when I was a kid. Like she's like, I don't understand why you can't flush the toilet after you shit.
yeah.
You know what's funny on the flip
It's
side?
right there.
So I've had, I think, maybe 3 Japanese teachers in my life in elementary school. Every time I was about to get one, my mom would be like, you know, you can't break any rules in that class. So I think
They're all Japanese Americans.
Yeah, they are too. But I think from my mom's perspective, because Japanese are so good at upholding the rules, even the stuff that she wants to pull, she can't pull. Because my mom always pulls favors all the time. Like she'll like try to like bend the rules. Or can my son do this and then do this? And then she'll know, oh fuck, when it comes to the Japanese teacher, whatever she says, we just gotta follow.
That's like your beef with the Katsu spot that doesn't open up
Yeah,
at
yeah,
like,
yeah, like that, like that.
1:59
you're on
and he's
the
at the
door, it's
outside.
like-
I'm like, bro,
Come on.
one more minute, just let me sit inside.
And she's standing watching him until the time goes on.
Yeah.
One more minute.
I'm like,
Another
bro.
thing I know from the older generation, like the boomer generation, so like Japan's been really warlike for hella years, right? So feudal Japan, previous to all the fucking colonization and shit, the rules were so Japan was divided, right? There's different like kind of warlords running your area. If another group comes in, they take over, now you're their bitch. So the rules of engagement was, hey, if I take over your country, you're just my bitch now. So like the way that they put it, the boomers put it, is like America won fair and square. So now we're their bitch.
Wow.
So he goes, but then the other guys that lost to us, now they're our bitch.
Oh.
So then the way they see it is
scorekeeping.
It's kind of like, and then you know how like all those war crimes and things that they did it to each other. So like, let's say you take over a village. The reason why a lot of the warrior wives would just kill themselves is because now you're the sex slave of somebody. Now you're
I know
you're
one's
gonna be
bitch.
tortured. It's like now you're my cattle. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So they have this weird belief system. It's outdated, obviously.
It's kind of honorable though.
It's kind of
think
sick
it's-
though.
it's-
I'd rather
yeah.
fucking
It's
die
in the
than be your
culture.
cattle, yo.
Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Everyone believes this now. It's modern, right? But I feel like it's rooted in that. So then now they're like, okay, well, America won. That means they're superior to us because they had the tech and they beat us.
But I just also feel like Japan is so rooted in that warrior culture, and I feel like cultures that come from that, they just have like a code, you know, like, and it seems like Japanese folks really live by that.
But now it's a bunch of fucking fruity ass like anime boys and shit.
But the ones that are still living it though, they're making the best fucking Japanese hamburger of all time. You know what I mean? Like they put it
Or
into
the
their
omelet rice?
Yeah, the omelet rice. Like
refinery they put into one
at
thing.
least they're doing something, and one aspect in their life, like the craftsmanship.
There is a Japanese greatness that they're good at. Yeah.
yeah, but I think because of that, there's like this weird. Oh, and also them and Iceland are the only two countries in the world right now that doesn't have a diversity. So I think they don't know how to live multiculturally. Whereas us, like a lot of things, like we learned about, oh, you don't want to say that because it's kind of racist. They're just barely learning that shit
I
right
hope
now.
they never change.
Yeah, keep it that way, because then
I
we
hope
don't
they
get
never
cool
change.
shit like Tokyo or Japan as like.
Because I also think that lowers the bar.
Yeah.
You know, you start going like, oh, if I'll understand why this just like, no, you do shit fucking awesome. Just keep it that way.
Not getting the next level.
not everywhere has to be America, dude.
Fuck no,
You know what I
dude.
mean? Like everywhere has to keep their.
Which is ironic that everyone who hates America wants everything to be America.
yeah, that's true. Everybody has to be PC. It's like, oh, dude, kill me, bro.
Dude, leave them alone.
But I think because of that, they think of things maybe like now modern people like they're more cautious of like talking about superiority and all that stuff. It's a Western. It's probably the most Western country next to Singapore in Asia, right? Like the way they think is like they're more secular. They whatever. But I think like it's rooted in this like not being exposed to other cultures where they think that they might be more advanced because it's like we're more educated and we have more tech. So it's like different from like, I don't know, like they could say shit that we can in the West. In the West, you can't be like, hey, your culture lives in a grass hut, so you're like kind of whatever. But you can't really say that here because it's rooted in what do you call it, racism and shit like that.
Xenophobia.
I never see Japanese people go on live television saying that kind of stuff. I think they say it behind closed doors, so I think it's totally chill. They're not going on live being like, you know what I think about this?
Yeah.
Stay in the grass, shitty.
Grass hot to suck.
To me, the Southeast
Get the
Asian
job,
stuff
brother.
is pretty interesting.
You said what?
The Southeast Asian stuff is pretty interesting.
What do you mean?
Their hierarchy. Because in Southeast Asia, I think Singapore's top dog. Singapore's
ridiculous. Yeah, that's not.
But that's an anomaly, though. You know, like,
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
you just have control of ports, dude. It is what it is.
I think for Filipinos, their shit's like, I think they know they're not number one. Obviously, they're like the fucking corruption kings of Asia. They're like one of the biggest polluters of the ocean. They have a lot of country-wise. They have a long way to
Get
go.
your people, yo.
They don't. I don't think, from my experience, they never try to at least like seem like they're number one, but they don't like it when you remind them how low they are.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
You know what's cool about the Philippines though? They come through. Like the level of support and pride.
No, yeah,
When there's a Filipino like boxer or something like
They're just working it out, dude.
they come through hard, right? Whereas like I don't think East Asians do it the same way.
As a country, there's like a bunch of things they need to fix, but as a people, they have such a damn good time doing everything.
For sure.
They're more like, why are you concerned about the hierarchy? You could just be having fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like more.
I love that shit. Yeah.
But that's why it's special in its own way. Because they have their own little fucking
But
problems.
I feel like Southeast Asians, there's so much infighting within their own countries that like they're not concerned of national pride in the same way as East Asians.
Bart says they're all the same.
Which one?
All the Southeast Asian countries, Southeast Asian.
No.
countries.
He said they're monolith.
They're all like they're different, but they're
I
pretty
never
much the
said that. I
same.
never said
He says that a lot.
He said the language sounds exactly the same.
He's like Thai, Cambodia. What's the
It
difference?
just depends on how much sriracha you put in the soup. If it's a little bit, it's fud. It's a lot, then it's like a boat noodle.
That's the line, huh?